trying to get
a
manual transmission car right now. They're hard to buy.
Oh, they are.
They don't make them.
They're kind of going out, it's more of a sports car kind of thing because, when you're driving a sports car, and I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people out there who have, you feel something when you hit that shifter.
There's a direct connection between you and the machine.
Oh, you love it. You love it.
But am I good at driving stick? But can I do it? Yes.
Well,
this might take a couple tries.
You're probably not doing it every single day. Mm-hmm. And that's another thing about generations that gets me. You went through all of this crap so that your kids wouldn't have to.
Right.
Okay?
But here we are.
Yeah. But exactly, here we are. Now we're left with a planet that your generation either better do something or it ain't going to be around very long. All right, so moving on. Boomers. We're down to boomers. We've covered the silent generation, or the greatest generation, as it's been known. Mm-hmm. The radio babies. This is when radio was king, baby.
Yeah.
Now we're going on to boomers. So why are they called baby boomers anyway? Do you actually know?
So many of them.
Exactly. The greatest generation came home
from the war
and got to work.
They had lots of fun.
Like we were talking about, you had this new great America. We were coming out of the Great Depression. Tomorrow looked optimistic. Things were going to improve. And so they had kids. And this is really the birth of the nuclear family image. This image of the 1950s family is still celebrated within our culture to this day. They are independent. They have a strong work ethic. Mm-hmm. They're self-assured. They're competitive. And they're goal-centric.
Mm.
Very much so, yeah. Yep.
That is a baby boomer in a nutshell.
Yeah, and their challenges were like they had to adapt to technology, and they value visibility in their work, which makes remote working kind of a challenge.
This is the beginning of the technological age. They're still an analog, okay? Mm-hmm. Everything's still on tape, but it's on tape.
Right.
They're making advances in technology and society. Things are booming all over the place. Industry's booming. Practice is booming. Computers are booming. But it's still in its infancy. Let's go ahead and go to a caller. Go ahead. You're on the Jackson Electric Open Lines.
Hello.
Hello.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I'm happy to hear that there's some fresh blood in the studio. I think that's great because they are well up to date with the technology going on, and some of us are a little behind the times, and some resist it pretty tough. But today I'm going to give all of our listeners and you guys some tools to kind of keep up with the times and keep some history alive. There's a site called the Wayback Machine.
Oh, yeah. I've used that many times. Yep.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yep. And there was a gentleman on the Benny Johnson show, and he was one of the creators of the Wayback Machine, and he just came out with a book called The Gray Lady Winks. And he goes into a whole lot of history that goes back into the problems with media covering up and obfuscation of the truth, and kind of this term that kind of went away called the limited hangout. And it gets into even the New York Times having issues with back when the Nazis and the Olympics. You can check that out. Right now, there's some concerns because, like I've brought up before, with the Azov Battalion in Ukraine, these are real neo-Nazis that are in their military that they just got a group caught in Italy. And we are...
Hey, was this battalion in Bucha?
In Bucha.
Bucha.
They've had a history.
Yeah, you want to know what was in Bucha? the unlawful killing of over 300 men, women, and children, a mass burial site containing around 440 graves. That's what was in Bucha. That's what they found when the Russians...
We're kind of getting up to present stuff into 2008 and 2014.
No. I'm talking about this was September.
Yeah.
This is after the Russians left Bucha. The UN went in and investigated and found war crimes, evidence of war crimes. So, well, you think all of them were Nazis?
I'm not saying that all of them were Nazis, but they definitely have Nazi ties.
All right. We're going to go to a quick commercial break. This is the Jackson Electric Open Lines on 930 KROE and 103.9 FM. Sheridan.
Plug into Jackson Electric and feel the power. If it has anything to do with electricity, anything at all, call Jackson Electric. Commercial, residential, agricultural, it makes no difference. Call Jackson Electric. Jackson Electric does high-efficiency LED lighting and fire alarm systems installation, wiring at home, wiring a business, new electrical service, or enlarging existing service. Call Jackson Electric and you'll see the light. 1851 North Main in Sheridan.
Get ready for the global kickoff to winter. Warren Miller is back with its 73rd annual ski and snowboard film, Daymaker, premiering at the WYO tonight at 7. Crossing generations, Warren Miller films connect us to the comforting constant of snow. Daymaker will take you on a journey to peaks so high, they'll replace the mountains in your mind with ones that free your mind. Tickets are available now at the WYO box office or online at wyotheater.com.
The 25th Annual Christmas Wish Campaign continues. The deadline for submissions has passed. However, we're still assessing wishes and taking your donations graciously. Thank you. Dear Christmas Wish, I know a retired veteran currently on Social Security disability. He was recently diagnosed with an inoperable brain tumor, in addition to the back injuries and knees that are in need of replacement. He has no family nearby. And when asked, he said he would be happy with some groceries or a basket of fruit. And he could really use some help and to know someone cares, especially through the holidays. If you'd like to donate and help, visit SheridanMedia.com, click on our Christmas Wish campaign and donate button. And thank you to our community partners, Allos Chiropractic, First Federal Bank and Trust, Heartland Kubota, Advanced Auto Body, A-Line Roofing and Exteriors, Wyoming Corporate Office, and Odell Construction.
Shop for everyone on your list and save with the Sportsman's Warehouse sale flyer in this week's Country Bounty. Save up to 25% on camping brands like Big Agnes and Mountain Hardware. Gear up for fishing and save up to 45% on brands like Orvis, P-Line, and Lew's Fishing. Save up to $400 on cooking brands like Traeger, Camp Chef, Lodge, and more. Check out the flyer, make your list, and head to Sportsman's Warehouse where they always guarantee lowest prices or they'll beat it. Open 7 days a week on Brundage Lane in Sheridan.
Remember when your mom would say, "Stop crying, or I'll give you a reason to cry about"? Well, if you didn't stop till she gave you a reason, then you need the calming that only comes from the health-giving things you get at the Health Nut. An organic and healthy soup, salad, smoothie, and sandwich bar. Aisle after aisle of vitamins and supplements plus a healthful grocery store. So stop crying, no matter what the reason, and get healthy and happy at the Health Nut, located in the 5th Street Mall in Sheridan.
Good morning and welcome back to the Jackson Electric Open Lines. I'm Floyd Whiting here with my friends Steve Sisson, Trevor Jackson, Madison Danforth. Give us a ring, 674-4443, 672-5763. We're talking about generations this morning. Still got a lot of ground to cover here. Two of them that did their own thing so much. Well, 3 technically, but 2 of them did their own thing so much we didn't even have a name for them. We just gave them a letter.
Right. And it was toward the end of the
And it's
alphabet, so
toward
there's
the
not
end of the
much you
alphabet,
could go
yeah.
after that.
Why?
Yeah.
Well, see, there was like a whole Gen Y
Yeah.
movement for a while.
Yeah.
But researchers decided to go ahead and shift that over to Z, which I have no idea why. What'd you call your generation this morning?
The Zoomers.
The Zoomers.
Yeah, that's Z.
I kind of like that.
See, I think it's, you have X, then you have Z. Millennials are in between. Millennials are Y.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
Zwite.
See, I think so.
Yeah.
I would agree with that. But what about Gen Xers? They're typically described as being resourceful, independent, keen on maintaining a work-life balance. That's something that our generation did, probably because we watched our parents work themselves to death. I know I did. My father, strong work ethic. I've talked about him on here multiple times. You don't read without learning. If you're going to put effort into something, it's got to be like a big thing, a big picture thing. Even for fun, my father, worked. He would refurbish.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Refurbishing old Scouts. Because he was a mechanic, refurbishing old harnesses. He loves going and finding harnesses at secondhand places and then just bringing them all back to life.
And I think it wasn't you that were talking about your dad thinking video games are just a big waste of time.
Huge waste of time.
Yeah, that's kind of along that same thought process.
How can you sit there and put all that effort into thinking and processing and problem solving, and you're not going to walk away with anything?
You're not producing anything.
You're not
with it.
producing anything.
Yeah.
But so I had to tell my father, a moment enjoyed is never wasted.
Right.
Never.
Yes.
But our generation kind of picked up certain traits because our parents were pretty absent because they were working. So we did tend to kind of become a little more of a helicopter parent. Like I said, I talked to my sister. There's no way we would allow our children to be gone or behave like we did. There's just, I don't know. Looking back on it, you just shake your head. I can't even believe it. I can't even believe that
I
is
always
what.
think of the movie Sandlot. Like, where were their parents?
Yes.
Like, what were all of their parents doing?
So think we were also known as slackers.
Right.
Generation X is the generation of slackers.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Sitting around,
With our flannel shirts and our grunge music.
Oh, and our round sunglasses everywhere we went.
Aviators.
I would have to say that, again, that is a generational thing. The boomers saw us instead of producing something. Maybe I was writing code. What are you doing? You're wasting your time. Well, not really, Dad. I'm doing something new here that you might not really grasp.
And Generation X was the first generation to really grow up with that kind of technology, like personal computers, when you were still young.
See, and that in my research, it's found that you and I, as Gen Xers, have what's called a hybrid relationship with technology. We're getting to the point where we're getting left behind, okay? But we're the ones who came up with this stuff.
Yeah, we were the first computer nerds.
We had Nintendo. We had Genesis. I was there for the generation of all of this stuff. The phone and all,
The phone.
The phone. When we
You know what that is, Madison? You can make phone calls on it. You can
You mean
talk to
this
people.
thing right here?
Yeah.
That's like 6 inches long, maybe?
Yeah, which probably the last thing you do on it is make phone calls.
Yeah, the portable computer in your pocket did not start that way. It started as a great big brick.
We just pull out the antenna.
Yeah.
That's right, yeah.
I mean, there were still analog principles
Oh, yeah.
to the things that we had, i.e. hybrid technology.
Yeah, like even your computer used tape or magnetic media for storage. So that was
Absolutely.
still a hybrid kind of thing.
Absolutely. So we tend to be, and this is what I love. They always tell us, we're independent. Independent, flexible, critical thinkers, self-reliant. We have a work-life balance that we decided to go ahead and do because we watched that happen. I've got a caller. We're going to go to this caller, but I do want to touch on Gen Z, and we only have about 4 minutes left. Go ahead, caller. You're on the Jackson Electric Open Line.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Am I on?
You are.
Okay. I just want to call in and just congratulate our community. We had some visitors 2 weeks ago from the Seattle area, and they were so impressed with our community, how friendly everyone was. They said, even down to the fast food person, this town is so friendly. So it just, I just beamed with pride, and I just want to share that with the community, that they should continue with their kindness and their friendliness, because outsiders definitely notice it.
Absolutely.
So that's what I wanted to say today.
Great job, Sheridan. And something as simple as a have a nice day goes a very long way. A little bit of kindness never killed anybody, even on your worst day. I think that's when it's best. When you're having a bad day, be kind to others. It comes back.
Oh, yeah.
Improves your day.
That's how you change the world, how you interact with individuals.
Little, tiny interactions every single day. You're right, Steve. You're right. All right, Gen Z, in summary. A typical Gen Zer is a self-driver who deeply cares about others. They strive for a diverse community. They're highly collaborative and social. Well, now hang on. If you look at it, Kay, like a group project with Steve and I back in the day, we were like,
yeah.
But I will say this, because of the way that I almost said kids, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
am 20.
I owe you an apology. The way that Gen Z communicates, you came up with technology. You came up with always having the ability to text somebody, talk to someone. You can learn about foreign countries and their cultures at the touch of a button. Steve and I were going to Encyclopedia Britannica.
That were like 10 years old to start with.
Yeah, 1967. Well, that was my dad's collection. That's where I learned. Yeah. They were still using horrible words.
They paid a lot of money for those things, so you were going to get value out of it.
Now it's on the internet.
Yeah.
Now you can just search up anything. You can. So like diversity. I'm excited. Like I hope I live to be 80 just because I want to see the future that you guys build. I don't look at Gen Z and think all these bad. I look at it. You guys are full of hope. You're full of optimism. You want to maintain certain traditional things.
We want change.
But you want to get rid of the ugly things, which I admire. Now, I always wanted our generation to do that, but we got caught up in a war.
Yeah.
Okay. And in my opinion, a justified, needed war. Okay. But that's where our generation went. Our generation went to war. And I'm hoping you guys don't have to face that so that you can create good, meaningful change right here in our own country. And I see you guys, it's like a resurgence of the women's movement. It's a resurgence of the civil rights movement. You guys are embracing these changes and you're taking action as opposed to just standing around holding signs. You're running for office now that you can, and you guys are making a big difference.
And accepting other people's opinions and not just shutting them down too, which I think a lot of other generations tend to do, is like, this is my generation's stance. I'm not moving.
Well, once you get to a certain age, you stop being open-minded. You're in your spot. You're comfortable there, and nothing else is going to change that. So,
and I hate to admit that I learned I was getting old when my daughter played some music, and I was like, "That's not."
Check off that box.
That's when I was like, "All right."
Oh no!
I finally hit the point.
It's happening.
I never wanted to be that guy. I never wanted, but
I don't think anybody really does. But it just kind of starts to happen.
It just happens.
Yeah.
You're listening to it and you're like, that's not music. All right. This has been the Jackson Electric Open Lines on 930 KROE at 103.9 FM. Cheers.